Welcome to this explainer. You know, right now, literally, as you're listening to this, petabytes of data are zipping around the globe in absolute milliseconds just to coordinate our daily digital lives. It's wild to think about. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the invisible engine making all of that possible. We're talking about the architecture of continuous operational intelligence.
Think about the last time you called an Uber, or maybe you got one of those fraud alerts on your phone seconds after a sketchy credit card swipe. We have all been completely conditioned to expect instant intelligence, right? I mean, you definitely don't want to find out your card was stolen yesterday. You want that transaction blocked right now. And this massive shift in what we expect actually forced engineers to totally abandon the old ways of doing things and build a completely new infrastructure from scratch. And that is the real-time data platform.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the shift to real-time, then dive into event-driven architectures, and navigate the tricky world of distributed state. After that, we'll tackle stream processing complexity, check out how this powers AI on the edge, and finally, look at the continuous digital economy.
Okay, Section 1, the shift to real-time. Let's talk about moving from batch to continuous processing.
Historically, enterprise architecture was all about throughput, processing huge batches of data overnight when computing power was cheap. But, well, that paradigm is pretty much dead. Today, if an AI agent needs to trigger a workflow, it absolutely cannot wait for tomorrow's batch job to finish. It needs it now. So we've had to fundamentally re-architect these systems from the ground up to optimize for continuous, ultra-low latency. It's a total game changer.
Moving to Section 2, event-driven architectures. This is all about continuous event streams.
The old model was basically applications constantly asking a database for updates. Honestly, it's the computing equivalent of a kid in the backseat constantly asking, "Are we there yet?" That era is over. In an event-driven architecture, the very second a state changes, the system broadcasts an event. Boom, done. The whole enterprise transforms into this living, breathing ecosystem that just naturally reacts to a continuous flow of digital impulses.
And here's how that ecosystem actually flows in the real world. First, an application emits an event and hands it right off to a high-speed transport layer, something like Apache Kafka. Kafka acts like the central nervous system here. It decouples the publisher from the consumer. Then a stream processor on the other end just consumes that event in real time. This decoupling, that is the secret sauce. It's exactly what allows these systems to scale dynamically, basically infinitely.
All right, Section 3. Navigating distributed state. Let's look at managing state at massive scale.
So, picture a fraud detection system. It is nowhere near enough to just look at a single $500 purchase in a vacuum, right? To actually know if it's fraud, the system has to instantly recall your specific spending habits over, say, the last 6 months. Doing that across millions of users on distributed servers that might just randomly fail, that requires what we call stateful stream processing. The infrastructure has to continuously coordinate this state using some incredibly complex checkpointing and fault-tolerant storage just to keep a reliable memory of what just happened.
But wait, what happens if events arrive out of sequence? Imagine event A is supposed to trigger event B, but because of weird network latency across the globe, event B somehow hits the processor before event A. Think about a bank. If a system executes a withdrawal before the deposit even registers, yeah, you're looking at a massive financial disaster. Figuring out what actually happened first in a super chaotic distributed network is honestly one of the hardest foundational challenges these real-time platforms have to solve.
Which brings us to Section 4, stream processing and complexity, dealing with chaos at scale. Imagine you're processing millions of events every single second, and out of nowhere, you get a 2-second delay. Finding the root cause of that is literally like finding a needle in a haystack, while the haystack is moving at supersonic speed. Debugging these platforms is just extraordinarily difficult. And without deep observability, real-time systems are essentially operationally opaque. You're flying blind.
Think about what could go wrong. Did a sudden surge in traffic overload the event queues? Did the system try to rebalance the stream partitions and just stall out? Or maybe, a downstream AI inference model took just a little too long to analyze an event and created this massive traffic jam behind it. Without incredibly deep, baked-in observability, running these platforms safely would be straight up impossible.
So, to prevent these kinds of disasters, engineers use some incredibly strict controls. For instance, if a node blinks out and accidentally resends a payment event, the system uses transactional guarantees and idempotency. Basically, that's just a fancy engineering way of saying it guarantees an event is executed exactly once, no matter how messy the pipeline gets. Add in dynamic backpressure management, and you keep the entire architecture from collapsing by perfectly balancing that crazy incoming fire hose of data with the actual processing capacity.
Moving on to Section 5, Powering AI and Edge. Let's look at real-time AI dependency.
Now, think about autonomous vehicles. They have to react in milliseconds just to avoid an obstacle. Or a smart city grid that's dynamically changing traffic lights to clear a path for an ambulance. These systems absolutely cannot wait for data to travel to some centralized cloud server halfway across the country and then back again. They just can't. The real-time platform has to push processing way out to the edge, right there, close to the devices, creating this continuous intelligence loop that feeds AI agents live context as it happens.
But here's the catch. You aren't just moving data around. You are actively building a continuous historical ledger of every single digital action. Because of that, organizations need massive stream storage systems to reconstruct timelines if something breaks. And from a cybersecurity angle, well, bad actors know this is the central nervous system of the company. It is a highly vulnerable, totally critical attack surface, so protecting against things like telemetry poisoning or pipeline disruption requires a continuous security monitoring layer that's just as advanced as the platform itself.
Finally, Section 6, the Continuous Digital Economy. A look at continuous awareness.
I love this quote because it really hits the nail on the head. We are witnessing a fundamental shift from periodic operational awareness toward continuous operational awareness. These are not just faster analytics tools, guys. They are the core infrastructures that allow enterprises to function like living organisms, continuously sensing their environment, reasoning through massively complex data sets, and reacting at literal machine speed, entirely without human intervention.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to chew on. As real-time data platforms become the invisible operational layer of our entire world, is your organization actually prepared to coordinate and react at machine speed? Because everything from AI to modern workflows depends entirely on this low-latency coordination. And you know, the next time you get an instant recommendation or a real-time bank alert, you'll know exactly what kind of massive state-managing marvel of engineering is humming away right beneath the surface. Thanks for joining me on this explainer.